Hi everyone, Ray from Pro String with another racket tutorial, racket restringing tutorial. Today's racket will be a Babolat Pure drive. We will be posting different types of Pure drives, but they're all typically restrung the same way. I just took the racket off the machine just to show you if you're starting from scratch how to put the racket on your machine. It will vary depending on what type of machine you have, but this is a Wilson Bayardo original, so this is how we put it on. We have two knobs here. This one moves the 6 and 12 o'clock fixtures, and then the rest of the mounting system is in the bottom wheel, let's say, or knob. So lightly, don't apply much pressure regardless of the machine you might be using. Yeah, just as you can see, I just let the racket or the wheels, just when it gets to the fixtures, just touching the racket, apply not even a 5% pressure, and there you go. It should have a little bit of space to move around with. So again, Babolat Pure drive today, which is strung the same way as the Babolat Pure drive Lite, the Babolat Pure Team. So it could effectively be any of those. This is the latest model. The client has provided their own string, which is the Technifiber Biphase, a really nice multi-filament string, and they have requested at 54 pounds of tension. As you can see, it comes with a plastic tie to keep everything as neat as possible. You can either use a nail clipper or something similar. I will be using our string cutters. Just be careful, don't nip the string, so just be careful if you haven't got much experience. And don't let the string loose, because I find that a lot of people do that and then they're spending 5 to 10 minutes untangling it. So this is a good way to untangle or just release the set of string. It normally comes quite clean with no no tangling in it. Yeah. Okay, just checking the view on the camera. Everything looks good for you guys to have the best view possible that I can offer. So, find your middle point with which you probably will have done already when you put the racket on the machine. This racket is started from the top down through your first main string from the middle. As you can see, there's 6 holes here, or 3 loops, where the string wraps around. I am working as normal whilst I make these videos. I'm waiting for a courier, and it could well be that a few phone calls come through whilst stringing this racket, so I apologize in advance, but it seems that I find it hard to find quiet time between stringing and family life. I am working from home. We do have a few different locations around London, UK, but anyway. So we have it's a 16-19 stringing pattern, therefore 8 mains to each side. 8 and 8 is 16. We have our first 2 mains in, so therefore we're going to count 7 more. 7 plus 1 is 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 plus 1, like I say, is 8, of course. Pull down the string a little bit. Give yourself some some good length, not too much. You don't want to go over, but you don't want to go short either. The Technifiber X1 Biphase is a stretchy string in my book. As you can see, I'll do that again. So I've got one side measured. I'm going to grab both strings and just slide it through my hand until I find the side that I measured. We are doing 4 knots today, which means 2 pieces of string. So I've now cut that with 2 times sharp angles. That way there's no issues getting the string through the grommets or the holes. Grommets are these blue little plastic things which are attached to the head guard, and down here they're not attached to the head guard, but they are still classed as grommets or grommet holes, however you want to call them. Right, so make sure this clamp isn't down, keep it in line kind of with the string roughly, and then you should be good to go. 54 pounds of tension. There are different ways of starting. You may find other tutorials on YouTube or wherever with people starting slightly different. If you're doing natural gut, it is advisable to use the starting clamp you put it just next to here in case there is any kind of slipping or anything like that. Then that's your kind of insurance that the gut, the natural gut doesn't slip. And because if it does slip, you are really damaging or at risk of damaging a very expensive string, as you may know, at least in terms of prices. This is a really nice string to string with, the Technic 501 X1 biphase. I believe this one specifically is 124 millimeters, 17 gauge. Yeah, 124 being a little bit different. Normally it's 120 millimeters or 125. It normally jumps in fives. 130, 135. 135 is more uncommon. 120 as well. This is 124. Whether it truly is 124, I don't know. It feels very much like 125. The difference is minimal. Now, I think, in my own personal opinion, it's all marketing. So people go, oh, 124, that's different. So from a marketing aspect, smart. But yeah, you can all have your opinion on that. So as you can see, I've done 3 strings on each side from the middle onwards. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm now going to carry on with 3 more to each side, which will put us at 6. Remember, this is a 16-19 stringing pattern, so we therefore need 8 on each side. The reason why we pull 3 at a time, well, not at a time, but separately, 3, and then 3, and then another 2, is to compensate the tension throughout the racket so we don't damage or add any significant stress to the frame. So this is number 6. Change the other side, as you can see. 4. This is now 5. So the rackets suffer a lot. They go through a significant amount of stress, the frames in themselves. Obviously rackets are made quite well these days with all the graphite and carbon graphites that they get made with. But yes, they go through a lot of stress when being strung, as you may imagine. So 6, and you're going to skip 1 at the bottom. 7, your 7th main. You're skipping effectively the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th hole, and then you're using the 8th. Same at the top. 6, skip 1, 7. This may not be the same for all rackets though. I repeat myself, this may not be the same for all rackets. Some rackets come with 6, skip 1, 7, or the bottom or the top might be different as well, so that can vary by model, brand, etc. My last main string on one side, up the tension to 15 to 20%, which I've already done. Sorry, the string has just slipped on me. So 54 pounds with a 15% tension. I have a knot button on this machine, which is the Wilson Bayardo Original. And I'm doing the Parnell knot. I try to slow it down for you guys on the next knot, which will be in a minute, maybe less. So we're going again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, skip 1, 7, and the same from the top. 6, skip 1, 7, and then we skip again for our last main. I'm now putting the tension up on my last main string. This is a very straightforward racket. You'll probably, if you are starting to string more commercially, it's a racket that you will see a lot. Babolat Pure Drive, very comfortable racket for club level players. Good power, good spin. If you're looking for a bit more control, just let your stringer know that you want a bit more tension. The higher the tension, the more control. The lower the tension, the more power. Your midpoint, I didn't slow the knot down, I know, but I've got another one coming up now to stop the crosses. A midpoint is probably anywhere between 54, 55, and then the higher you go, the more control. The lower you go, the more power. So, we're going to count out our crosses now, which I normally Always count this way, 7.5 lengths for a 16-19 stringing pattern. If you're doing a 18-20 or 16-20, then leave yourself 8 to be safe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5. Okay, so like I said, I always use the Parnell knot, and if I haven't, well, I do. Doesn't really matter where you start on this. I always like to double check, but it doesn't matter where we start. There are some pure drives, the older generations, that do indicate where to start with, a little black circle around the grommet. So I'm tying the knot, my starting knot, which will also be the same as my finishing knot or tie off knot, on my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th main. I'm going to go down, so I put the string through the same hole. Should be plenty of space. Down, around, turn the string over, and you have your first little single knot. Then again, the same thing, down, around. I don't give myself much string here, there's not necessary. And then I pull my first knot, and then all I have to do is pull up, not hard at all, as you just saw, because the machine will take care of my knot now. Obviously, don't leave any gaps in the knot. Well, maybe not obviously, but don't leave any gaps. And as I said, when you pull that first string, the machine will tighten it, and you may be able to see, I don't know if you can see it from that angle, the string will, the knot will just tighten up with the tension of pulling or tightening the string. So I had across the vertical string, or the main string, covering the hole here, but because I give myself a nice sharp edge, that just popped through very nicely. No need for use of the awl tool. Always, when you are pulling the string through, very, very important, always use your left or right hand, whichever way the racket is facing. That'll be one way or the other. So in this instance, my right hand, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, and give yourself enough string, because I am stringing one ahead, one in front. What that means is that I'm always stringing one ahead of myself from the string that is being pulled, or that you are going to pull or tighten. And then again, and then tuck the string in, because then afterwards I'll show you how I hold the string whilst it's being pulled by the machine, or the tension head. I have a small cut on my finger, so I'm having to use my middle finger sometimes. Again, pull down, 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 down. As you pull, give yourself a good amount of string to reach the tension head, which I do have. And as you can see, my left hand straight away on the racket, supporting the string, not letting it come down, because then you come up, you finish the racket, and you've got what looks like the Mexican wave, or the wave when they do it when they do the wave at sporting events, or any kind of event where obviously there's hundreds of thousands of people. So you want the string to come up nice and straight as possible. Reason being, when you start moving the strings along a lot after you finish restringing, that can create significant tension loss. So that's why we put our hand here and support the string, so it doesn't come down, and then therefore after having to move them all around afterward, which is time consuming if you're doing a lot of rackets. And again, it loses tension. So there you have it. That's why we do that. Up, down, up, down. A good way to check your weaves or your work. Always opposites. The top string that hasn't been pulled, this one, should be bottom. If it's bottom here, my next string should be top. Another way to check is bottom. This has gone underneath the main, and then the finish weave should be over, as you can see. And always opposites. Absolutely always. As soon as you see that there's a double over or under, a double weave if you'd like, or bridge, such as direct translation from Spanish. I grew up stringing in Spain, that's where I learned how to string in Spain. However, born in Canada. we call it puente, which is the translation is bridge, but double weave as well. Again, supporting the string. So I have to do minimal string straightening afterwards when I finish. Okay, I'm going to cut that knot nice and short. As you can see, I'm just pushing the string back a little bit. With the multi-filament, it doesn't really work, just out of habit, I guess you could say. Really smooth string, the Technifiber X1 biphase. If you're an intermediate player, or regardless the level you play, if you're someone who does not break strings frequently, i.e. every month, every 2, maybe 3 months, don't go to polyesters. If you play weekly and you don't break strings, treat yourself to a nice multi-filament string. Plenty of feel, touch, and power. Our best seller is actually our own brand, which we manufacture or produce in Austria, the Babolat Pure multi-filament, which of course in this case the client has provided their own string, which we're completely happy to also string for clients that provide their own string, and you should too, in my opinion. But yeah, our Babolat Pure multi-filament is our best seller. It's a very good string. It's priced below X1 biphase with an NXT power, and a few other good decent multis as well out there. But yeah, ours is very good as well, and does come with a cheaper price tag, as we're not a very commercial company. We're pretty much family-run company with 5 different locations in London. 2 workshops, one in Acton where I am now, West London, another one 2 miles away, also West London in Hammersmith, where we have another Wilson Bayardo Light. This is the Wilson Bayardo Original. Great machine. I mean, fantastic machine. I think it was the original, the official stringing machine for Roland Garros years ago, when it was for a while, US Open as well. Obviously with time, contracts change, etc., etc. So right now, I haven't traveled on tour for a while. I used to travel with my brother mainly, and a few, one or two other players where I helped out along the way, for whatever the reason. So I haven't been to a slam, or at least I haven't been to see any of the stringing rooms at any big professional tennis events recently. Well, recently, or 3 weeks ago, I did go to Nottingham Challenger with my brother Stephen Diaz, and they, if I'm not mistaken, they had Yonex stringing machines. I had 3 stringers there. Unfortunately, my brother lost to Ben Jones. I think he's ranked 900-ish in the world. Big serve, was inside, so indoors, hard court, very tricky conditions for someone who is more of an outdoor tennis player. Indoor tennis is very quick, and you know, if you're dealing with somebody who's 2 meters tall or 6'4", give or take, they have a big serve. Well, you can only imagine. I mean, I have to say he did play very well that day, Ben Jones. My brother was left with minimal options. Actually, Ben Jones is being coached by Greg Ruzetsky currently. But I think his doubles ranking, I think he focuses more on doubles. I think his doubles ranking is around 200 in the world at the moment. And he's British, of British nationality. At least he plays for the British. Plays with a British flag next to his name. He then went on to lose in the second round of qualies in Nottingham Challenger this year, 2024, just a few weeks ago, against good friend Philip Piliwo, Canadian, but also has now adapted the new flag of Poland. But anyway, I have got somebody at the door. Bear with me, shouldn't be long. Just a moment. Where are the rackets? Here we go. Sorry guys, we're on our last main. So down here the string has come out over a cross string, which is our vertical or mains. Down here it comes around, sorry, up and down and around, and it's covering both sides. We've got two covering holes, so naturally the string has come over. It could have gone under, but it has gone over. So I've got another covered hole. I'm going to ever so slightly use the awl just to give myself some more opening space. Be careful with the awl. If you are going to use the awl and don't have much experience, do be careful. Don't damage the string, take your time. And I probably have the same over here. But let's see, I think I'll be fine here because the string seems to be a little bit lower on the grommet, so we're good. Okay, last cross string, 19th cross string. I've upped the tension. We're going to clamp, and I have loads of string, lots of string, maybe a meter, nah, maybe 60-70 centimeters. And don't have to leave all of it. It's unnecessary to give yourself such a big piece of string, because then you're just pulling a lot more string than necessary, and it can get in the way when you're doing the knot. So again, my 6th main string at the bottom here. Find yourself the closest appropriate shared main string, grommet as well, under, through, tying onto that main string or anchor string, down, through, and through the first knot I've done. Again, this is called Parnell knot. I will eventually make a video just dedicated to that. Okay, well there you have it. Babolat Pure Drive, 300 grams, 16-19 stringing pattern, strung at 54 pounds of tension today. With the Technifiber X1 biphase, the strings have come out very straight in my opinion. Hopefully I can show you guys as well. Nice and straight, minimal touching of the strings really, just a little bit on the mains because of the clamps. 54 sounds very good to me. I have some small stickers over here with the name of the company, our phone number in case people lose our contact, and also just remember where they went if they were happy with the work. So the date is the 28th of the 2nd, 2024. Stringer is myself, Ray. Tension 54 lbs, and the string used X1 biphase. I just write X1 on there, and I'm sure they'll know what was used, seeing that they did buy the string themselves. A little tiny sticker that goes quite nicely on the inside frame of the racket, inside neck of the racket, as you can see. Just gonna put that on there nicely. I do have people that take it off as soon as they get the racket. For us, it's just normal protocol unless we're told otherwise. I did have somebody, excuse my language, but bitch at me for putting a sticker on there after them supposedly telling me over the phone 3-4 weeks ago they brought their racket back because they were unhappy with the color we used with their string, but they weren't very clear on telling us that in the first place, so we had to redo the racket for a discount price. Everything was okay in the end, but yeah, I mean, our company, you know, we have these labels, name, email, phone number, tension, string, do not string if you want, what service you want, just regripping, restringing, both, everything. When the client's not unsure of what to do, they'll say call us, but some people just don't get it. So yeah, there you go. I won't carry on whining about that, but it is actually an interesting point, because a lot of people do expect you to know what they want, and when you're dealing with what we probably deal with 30-40 rackets a week easily on low season, so you know, that's, what's that, times, let's say 40 a week, and I'm sure we go past that even in winter months, so that's 160 a month at least. So you know, it's impossible to get everything right always, especially if the person's not being very clear. and I have actually changed the label a few times to make it as dummy proof as possible, not for just the client but also for ourselves. So if you are thinking about running a tennis stringing or tennis squash or badminton restringing company or business, then that's your bread and butter, labels. Make sure you've got your labels right, and that way you and your client understand each other very well. But sometimes it's much easier face to face, as at some people or shops even, they meet all their clients face to face. That's not the case with us. We don't meet our clients. We string their rackets. Well, firstly, they drop them off at one of our reception or drop-off points. We pick them up, we string them, send them back. And we send them a, we send them a payable email invoice, works really well. So we don't meet most of our clients. If anything, we speak to them over the phone, emails, text messages, etc. Right, guys, that's a wrap. Have yourself a great rest of the day, and happy stringing. Take care, guys. Thanks for watching, and I really hope this helped you in some way. Take care. Bye-bye.